I spoke a little bit about this last week as well. So obviously, you're probably familiar with what I said, which is that I don't need to be sold on the medicinal, spiritual aspects of decriminalizing this. My main concern is around making sure that that our community clearly understands what it is that we're proposing and what we're talking about, particularly as we realize that substance abuse is a problem, not just in our community, but nationwide. And so we want to be very clear about what it is that we're doing and that there is proper messaging and things of that nature, so that our community clearly understands what's happening. So that's where I'm at. As a veteran, I have to tell you that that's the other reason I don't need to be sold. I certainly understand the plight that several former service members have suffered with PTSD and other mental illnesses that impacts their lives. And this is one way that several studies, several organizations have found that there has been some success. And just because the government hasn't necessarily caught up to the science doesn't mean that it's something that we should just outright reject. And so I remain open, and I appreciate you coming here tonight in support. In terms of a response to increasing political violence in our country and in the community, I spoke to that just a bit at the top of the meeting. Obviously, it's something we strongly condemn. But I will say this, every single time the Olympia City Council makes a decision to do something for our community, we are not thinking about who's supporting who, right? We're simply doing what we believe is the best interest of the people who live in this community. And so I will say that we certainly understand that there might be a concern, but this council has no agenda other than to do what's in the best interest for our community members. I understand that since 2016, really, that was sort of a turning point in our country where I'm not sure that many people were paying attention to what city councils were doing around the nation before that time. Maybe here in Olympia, because we have a very involved and engaged constituency, but other places, not so much. And suddenly what we saw is our former mayor, Selby, dealing with a lot of things that were so unprecedented for a local official to have to deal with. And so this is certainly something that we hear you on, that we share that concern. We have been in conversations with our police chief and our leaders, city staff, on what our plans are. We certainly have learned a lot from 2020 and 2021, and we have made some adjustments to our crowd management policies and things of that nature. And so we're certainly taking this into consideration. And I will just say that I don't feel that that we can promise or guarantee safety in this regard. We can encourage it. We have elected officials every day in this country on the other side that are condemning this violence, and yet it happens. And so what I will say is we will continue to use our platforms to speak out against it, but beyond that, we will do what we can to bring action to our community to prevent whatever we can from happening. But we can't guarantee what lone actors might do, and that's just the reality of the world that we live in. And in a lot of ways, I think that's because, frankly, I personally feel as though politics is just taking on a new energy in this country. In some ways, I even think it's like it's replaced religion or something. And so I think that has brought a lot of this out in people, and they don't necessarily have an outlet of where to express it, and local government has become one of those places. And so we're with you, we hear you, we will do what we can to support you, to provide safety to our community, and please know that we're on the same side.
Thank you.